looming on Wednesday, some teachers, staff, and parents held a rally and march this weekend in Portland, Oregon.
We want to be able to have wages that allow us to live in the communities that we serve and attract and retain quality educators and diverse educators. We want the planning time to be able to give students the feedback that they deserve on the work that they do so that they can continue to grow.
Negotiations between the Portland Public School District and the Portland Association of Teachers continues, and officials have said they've made progress on special education at the bargaining table. The FDA is asking people not to buy or eat Wanabana apple cinnamon fruit puree pouches because it may have high levels of lead. After 4 kids were exposed to lead, the pouches were found to have extremely high levels of it in them. The FDA recommends taking children who may have eaten the pouches to get a blood test with their doctor. Lead is toxic and can affect people of any age. Well, it's almost time for a time change, and for some people, that will cause a literal headache. An expert from the University of Southern California says the end of daylight saving time is hard on the body. He said it's a good idea to keep migraine drugs or painkillers on hand for headaches. Daylight saving time ends November 5th. And children with special needs have a new place to play in Clayton. This is at Northview Park on Levon Court. This weekend, the city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for its new all-inclusive playground at the park. It posted these pictures on social media showing the new addition. The city says the playground includes several features like all-weather surfacing accessible to wheelchairs, a ramp, and sensory boards. Storm Center 7 meteorologist Robert Gauthreaux joins us, and we've been talking about how cold it's going to get, and the entire Miami Valley is under a freeze watch.
That's right.
Now.
And if you want to be concise, it's going to be cold and wet.
Cold and wet?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to be too wordy. I got 3 minutes to talk. I may as well use it, I guess.
You can talk as much as you.
Yeah, because we have the weather app where you can log on and see what the temperature is going to be, and you can also watch us here on Channel 7 where I can tell you things like, hey, if you're going out trick-or-treating on Tuesday evening, it's going to be a little bit cold. We're looking at some wind chills in the mid-20s, so temperatures are already going to be cold enough, but with a little bit of wind, that moisture on your skin, that evaporates, that makes you feel colder, kind of like when you step out of the shower. So you might want to, well, hopefully you're going to be like a gorilla or something. A lot of fur, stay real warm because it's going to be cold. Not to mention, we are looking at the chance for a few light flurries. We'll show you that on the Futurecast. But overall, yes, we are looking at a wet night. Very wet. You can see lots of green across the Midwest, and that freeze watch is in effect until Tuesday morning. But like I said, temperatures are going to be below freezing thereafter. It's just sort of like a, hey, we're going to be below freezing for the first time in a long time, just letting you know. That's all that means. So you can see a lot of green here in Indiana and Ohio. And not only there, but stretching all the way from the southwest, a lot of moisture coming up. So it's going to be kind of like last night. And, the rain did come a little bit earlier today. We had some rain in the evening, kind of even the late afternoon, early evening hours. And so it was a little wet. We are looking at another wet night. And I mentioned the freeze alerts across the area. Now, as far as the rainfall, we've seen quite a bit across the Miami Valley the last 24 hours or so. I would say moving into the next 9 or so hours, you can take a look at this map, and everyone is expecting at least a little bit more. Most places closer to a quarter inch. Might see a little bit more in our southern counties, but it eventually will let up. Here you can see in the Futurecast some heavy pockets of rain around 2, 3 a.m. But then as we get closer to sunrise, here's a look at 6 a.m. You still see some green, but not as widespread, not as heavy. In fact, by 8 a.m., it does look like it's going to dry up a little bit. We do stay cloudy. Heading into Monday afternoon, a sprinkle here or there possible, but you'll also notice the cloud cover breaks up. And if we're lucky, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine poking through tomorrow before the sun sets, and then we're looking at some clear conditions. Now, heading into Tuesday, let's see what happens. You see a little bit more cloud cover come in, and yes, you see the color blue on here. And this is at 4:30 in the afternoon. So again, some light flurries possible in a couple spotty areas. Not everywhere, but this is getting closer to trick-or-treat time, and so, yeah, you might have to dodge a few little flurries. And if we head a little bit later into the evening, you do see that chance here about 10 o'clock, a few flurries there. So maybe if you have any barn parties or something out there in Greene County, you might have to dodge a few flurries because it's going to be kind of cold. And I say kind of cold, it's going to be really cold. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s for many nights ahead. As far as the afternoon is concerned, you can see high temperatures only getting in the 40s, struggling to reach the 40s even. We're typically about 61 degrees this time of year in the afternoon, so even all the way to Friday, you're looking at below average temperatures, but at least by the weekend it does recover. Tonight, scattered showers, chilly, north-northwest winds. That'll make it feel a little chilly, and you can see here over the next several days, highs in the 40s, lows in the 20s, but like I mentioned, by Saturday and Sunday, that's more average for this time of year with highs getting at least into the low 60s.
All right, thank you, Robert. And cold temps like these are a good reason to have our free WHIO weather app. It gives you hour-by-hour forecasts and sends watches and warnings to wherever you are. Just search WHIO weather in your app store.